philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
knack.com. You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
For the week, the Dow is down 0.6%, S&P down 1.5%, NASDAQ down 3.3%. Tech stocks got clobbered. So the Dow and the S&P and the NASDAQ all snapped 9-week win streaks. NASDAQ had its worst week in more than 3 months.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Wow.
And today they're trying to rally the NASDAQ back up again. That's right. They're trying to rally it again. But they're not going to be able to rally and sustain any rally. And you can see it when you look at the numbers going back to the chart. And again, it's unbelievable. If you go back and take a look at July of 2023 to October of 2023, if you recall, we had a sell-off. Why? Well, because the market, the yields were at the Fed rate was at 5%, 5.1%. It stayed at 5.1% all the way through July, August, September, right down to October. So the market dropped. We had that 10% correction. But here's what's interesting. How did they rally the market from October 2023 to January 2024? 15%, when we had the same interest, 5%. You can't have it both ways. You can't have the Fed rate at 5% and the market sell off. Anytime, anybody knows when you have the Fed rate going up, the market sells off, unless you interfere with the market. And that's what they did between October 2023 and January 2024. Think about it for a moment. 5%, you have a correction of 10%. And then again, 5%. The market rallies 15%. It doesn't make any sense. But it even gets worse than that. When you go back and take a look in 2008, think about this. For 14 years, from 2008 to January 2022, what do we depend on to get the market to rally? Rates going down. It's always rates. And they were able to keep the rate under 1%. 0.16 for 14 years, up to 0.8, 0.8%. Only twice during that 14 years did interest rates get above 1%, in June of 2017 and April 2019. It's only twice out of 14 years. That's how they got the market to rally. It was financially engineered. They put in over $27 trillion, remember, when the banks collapsed in 2008 to get the market going, but they also put in $114 billion to save the banks instead of letting the banks go down. then 27 trillion, so that Fed could go out and buy treasuries. So the more you buy treasuries, the more the yield comes down, and then the Fed lowers their rate, of course, and then the Fed can then loan money to corporations at near zero, so they can keep buying their own stock. So this whole bubble from 2008 to 2022 was at less than 1%. But it's interesting, when the market dropped from January 2022 to October 2022, we had a 25% drop. Now, it made sense because the rates started to go up from 0.8, less than 1%, to 3.8%. So markets always drop when the Fed rate goes up, and it did. So we financially engineered a rally for 14 years, 590% on the S&P, and then they created so much inflation. That's why they raised the rates in April 2019, on June 2017 and April 2019 to start fighting that inflation. But then they said, well, the hell with inflation. The rich get richer with inflation. In fact, you know that the stock market itself, they'll lie. They'll lie through their teeth and say, oh, when stock markets rally or stock prices go up, they don't create inflation. It's the worst inflation. Worse inflation. Of course it does. So they kept that rally intact. Then it dropped to that October low. And then here's what was interesting. Now with the rates at 3.8%, the market starts rallying as rates start to go up from October 2022 to July 2023. Now you can see this on my chart if you're in front of your computer. But tonight I'm going to put this whole thing up so you can see it. Just go to my YouTube channel or Rumble or Apple or Instagram, and you'll see the chart that I have here. Because it's really unbelievable. When you see this, you can really see how they financially engineered this market and why we're going to have a minimum of a 50% crash. So they rallied the market from October 2022 to July 2023, 28%. But wait a minute, the rates were going up from 3.8 to 5%. Wait a minute, we had a market drop from January 2022 to October 2022, 25%, because rates were going up. But now we got the market going up with rates going up. Then making it worse, after it rallied 28% July 2023, because the rates were at 5%, they couldn't hold the rally, went down to October 2023, dropped 10%. And this is the one where we are today. From October 2023 at 5%, we rallied to January 2024 at 5%. So in other words, we had a 15% rally, and what drove that rally was a 5.3% in October, November, December. How could you have the market drop from July to October with 5% high rates, but yet that same 5% rally at 15% from October to January 2024? You can't. So what they did is this. When you go back to the October 2022, remember from October 2022 to July 2023, we had the March bank crises. That's when we had the Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic, Signature blow up. Now, they knew that was coming. So what they did between October and January, they built a pool of money. The Federal Reserve printed a pool of money. They had the four largest investment banks go in. This was right before the crash of the banks in March. They had them go in and say, look, you guys have got to go and start buying Microsoft and Apple. That's all you buy. Buy it for us, the Fed. We'll put it on our balance sheet, and you can buy it also yourself. And that's how the market went up, because of Apple and Microsoft, because the five biggest banks went in and purchased Microsoft and Apple as told by the head of the Fed, because they knew that March, the bank was going to blow up. And that's how we rallied, with rates going up from 3.8 to 5% from October 2022 to July 2023. that pool of money, instructing the 5 investment banks to purchase just Microsoft and Apple. That's called financial engineering. They did the same thing again when the market dropped from July to October 2023, dropped 10%. Then they rallied it again, another 15% with high rates. They did the same thing. They put a pool of money in, and the 5 biggest investment banks bought 3 different tech stocks to keep that market rally against high rates. So what's going to happen next? I'll tell you when I get back from the break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. To be a successful investor, you need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grande and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor Program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grande and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot. at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join our gang. It's a new year. And you'll learn in 10 days, won't cost you a penny, free for 10 days, you'll learn how to read the bond market. How many times you said, what do you think the market's going to do? Or you called your broker or an advisor. What do you think the market's going to do? Or a certain stock. What do you think this stock is going to do? You never have to make that call again. The bond market will tell you what the market's going to do because the bond market gives you direction in which way rates are going. Remember, high rates hates the stock market, hates high rates. If the market's being rallied, and it has been rallied. Remember, this entire rally from 2008 to 2024 was by 7 tech stocks. 7 tech stocks. And remember, it's the banks that like high rates. They make money when rates are up. It's the tech stocks that hate high rates, but yet they rallied with high rates. And that is the problem. See, here, if you want to really convince yourself, let's say you think, there's not going to be a crash. There's not going to be a correction in the market. Then here's where you got to convince yourself. Why is it that if the rate's at 5.1%, when the market rallied from 3.8 in October 2022 to July 2023, we went from 3.8 to 5.1, and because we were 5.1, that rate hike was so high, from 3.8 to 5.1, the market corrected. Remember, we went down 10% correction to that October 2023. Then we had that big rally off that October low up to where we are today. But wait a minute, you got to convince somebody, you got to convince yourself rather, that how could it be that the market would sell off, which it should have, when it was 5.1% to 5.3% from July to October 2023, but yet rallied again on the same 5%. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, markets, they go down or markets go up. Doesn't matter what the rate is. The rate is the whole thing about the market. Why do you think you look at the bond market? Why is everybody so focused on rates? If you drop rates, the market goes up. By the way, that's another thing. When they keep saying how we're going to cut rates 5 times, cut rates 6 times maybe, and in 2024. Wait a minute. Why is anybody celebrating? That's telling you they're admitting the economy's not working. It's not growing. The economy is in a ditch. The only reason why they'll cut rates is to help corporations, because corporations are not making money. They're paying too much money, too much interest on their debt. So when you hear how they're going to cut rates and everybody's celebrating what? You're celebrating a bad economy. The only reason they're cutting rates is to help the large corporations because their earnings are going down because they're paying too much money in interest. Remember, corporations, think of the amount of money, I think over $13 trillion they borrowed so they could buy their own shares back from 2008 to 2022. That whole rally, remember, that S&P rally, we had a 590%. It only went up for one reason, because we printed all that money. Not only the $27 trillion to go in and buy treasuries so we could drop those yields down. Remember, when you buy treasuries, the yield goes down, the interest goes down. And then the Federal Reserve, they're going to drop their interest rates. Usually they drop their interest rates first, and then then they follow behind them. The 10-year Treasury will follow behind that short-term rate. So if the Fed lowers their rate, then the 10-year Treasury rate goes down, okay? So, again, that whole rally from 2008 to 2022, it was all fake. It's all bubble. It's all keeping rates below 1%. 14 years. 14 years. All except for 19 months of 14 years did it get above 1%. But then the gig was up. So now you got to convince yourself if this market is going to crash or not crash. And it's pretty easy. You just got to ask yourself, the market can't go both ways. You can't have a sell-off when rates are high at 5% and then have a rally. So how did they rally the market from that October low of 2023? Or think of it this way. They had two rallies, the October 2022 rally and the October 2023 rally. That October 2023 rally, remember, that was after the market dropped 25%. And rates started to climb from 3% to 5%. As I told you, they went in and they built a pool of money in which the four largest investment banks were instructed to buy Microsoft and Apple, because it was right before the banks, the three banks, were ready to crash. They knew the banks were crashing. The Fed knew what was going on. So they said, God, we can't have this happen because the market will go straight down. So what we'll do, everybody will panic. So let's go in, we'll build a pool of money. You four banks go in and buy Microsoft and Apple. Everybody will follow, and we'll push this market. Even though the rates are going from 3.8 to 5%, the hell with. We'll push the market up by pushing Apple and Microsoft, and all the tourists will follow. That's how they did it. But then it didn't hold, did it? It went right back down and had a 10% correction. And they stopped that. It was going to continue to go down about 50%. But they stopped that. They stopped that drop in October 2023. We would have gone down at least 50%. How'd they stop it? They built another pool of money. Same thing. Same thing. Three stocks. Everybody buy those. I might say everybody. The banks, the three biggest banks, instructed to buy those stocks, which push them right back up. So what do we do now? What happens now? What's the market going to do? Are they going to now continue to push the market up again when there's high rates? Well, how are they going to do that? How are they going to push the market up again when rates are at 5%? That's insane, isn't it? They can do it, but the results are going to be catastrophic. We'll talk about that when we get back. Join my gang, free for 10 days. Learn how the market works.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Phil Grande here, Phil's Gang Radio Show. Tired of Wall Street's games? We've got the antidote. Learn the art of short selling. And then you're going to gain a top-notch stock market education with Phil's Gang and philsgang.com. We're so confident you'll love it because we're offering a 10-day free trial to our working investor program. No gimmicks, just real strategies. Sign up to a Phil's Gang membership today and take control of your financial future. Visit www.philsgang.com now.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. So they're trying to rally the market again, but it will not be successful. It will fail again because the rates are too high. Then when the Fed rate is this high, the tech stocks will not sustain. They can't. Tech stocks do not like high rates. Now, the question is going to be this. If they rallied the market and engineered it to go up when rates were at 5% from the October low 2023 to January 2024, now remember, from July 2023, we had that 10% correction because rates were at 5%. The market pulled back. Then they rallied on that same 5%. So that is not going to last. So if you're going to buy stocks, what we did, I had my members buy bank stocks in October of 2023. And our bank stocks are doing terrific. They have relative strength. When the market was going down, these stocks don't go down. They've been hanging in, doing very, very well. Our stocks are anywhere between 15 and 20% return on these stocks. We took a bunch of profits on Friday, but we still have the stocks, but we put a lot of profits in our pocket. But the reason we keep them in the bank stocks is rates are going up. Now, here's the question. They can't cut rates. Why? Because there's too much inflation. Where's it coming from? We talked about this last week. If you look at the money supply is much greater now than productivity. And that is terrible inflation. So the reason you're seeing the Fed rate at 5.3% and hold 5.3% October 2023, November 2023, December 2023, January 2024, and the market's going up? What are you, nuts? Because they rigged the market to go up. They did the same thing they did from the October 2022 to July 2023. They put a pool of money in there and another pool of money in the October 2023. So think about it this way. They put a pool of money off that October low 2022 to rally the market with high rates. And they put a pool of money in to rally the market off the October 2023. So if you're going to be in this market, keep watching keep watching the bond market. All you have to do is watch TLT. It's the 20-year Treasury, TLT. If the Treasury market, TLT, is going down, interest rates are going up. And that's bad for your tech stocks. But we get a lot of people who are tourists, don't know interest rates and tech stocks from a strawberry. And they just jump in on every dip. So just keep your eye on that TLT. And then you're going to know, you don't have to ask anybody, are rates going to go up or down? If rates keep going up, the bank should stay strong. If the rates turn around and break, then you're going to see this market totally good, this really collapse. If this market takes out that October 2023, remember that October 2023 was key. The market was set to go down about 50, 60%. Remember, the crash started in July 2023. That's after the banks imploded. The regional banks imploded in March of 2023. But to prevent that from happening, that's when they built the pool and bought and had the 4 or 5 biggest investment banks buy just Microsoft and Apple to prop the market up as rates were going up from 3 to 5. Normally, the market wouldn't go up when you got rates going from 3 to 5. But they're able to maneuver it by buying Microsoft and Apple from that pool. So if they decide they want to continue to run this market higher, because here's their problem, they can't cut because you got that pool, you got the money supply so huge, it's overtaking productivity. Productivity can't keep up with the money supply. And that's the worst kind of inflation. We saw that, if you remember, during COVID. Same thing. When you have all this money and we're not producing enough and that money's just sitting there, inflation goes through the roof. And that's what we're seeing. So that's why you notice the rates aren't changing. That 5% rate hasn't changed since July 2023. Hasn't changed. Here we are, 2024, January. If they decide, to hell with it, screw Main Street, let inflation run, yes, they could run the market again. All they do is print more money, just like they did in 2008. Just print a whole boatload of money, go in and buy treasuries to bring the rates down, to get those 10-year treasury yields down, get the fixed rate overnight down, start loaning it to companies again at zero, QE, zero rates again, and the stocks, tech stocks will roar again. But so won't inflation. I don't see that happening because that would be insane. I mean, that would be, you're going to pay $10, $20 for a loaf of bread. Also remember this. You know how they keep telling us how we got this, they lie and say, well, the reason why things are so good and the market's going up, even though at high Fed rates, because we have a strong labor market, strong wages. What? No, we don't. Were they nuts? Not when payroll and employment in 2023 was half of what it was in 2022. Also, when wage increases, they keep talking about, look at the wage increase, look at the wage. No, the wage increases have been met immediately by hours cut. The top 1%, there's 1.3 million individuals, top 1%. They're making 5 times that of our 160 million individuals in our workforce. 5 times. That's crazy. It's insane. So our 160 million workforce, immediately, as I say, they meet you get a bump, but then also, boom, their hours are cut. Yet, think about this. The net worth of the top 1%, or 1.3 million people, is nearly 5 times wages earned by the 160 million Americans. What are you, nuts? So we're told, well, the difference, the reason why they got to make so much money, the top 1%, because they take risk. They provide the jobs. They're risk takers. If it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be any jobs. You don't see guys working at McDonald's. They don't create jobs. So they deserve this. Yeah, that would be true if they were taking the money and put it back into business investment. But they're not. That would be great. But they're not. What are they doing? They're getting the money, and instead, the Fed's printing all this money, gives them that money. They're not using it to optimize economic growth through business investment, creating jobs and wages and buying new machinery and increasing standard of living. No. Instead, what are they doing? They're propping up the stock market. They're taking that money and they're using it to prop the market up by buying treasury to drop rates. And then what they're doing is they're speculating. The guys on Wall Street are using that money to speculate with, to buy stocks. And that's inflationary. They printed $27 trillion to purchase treasuries that drive the yields down to 0.16. Imagine that, 16th of 1%. This is where the money's going. They're not taking risks. What they're doing is they're speculating. That's what happened in 1929. That's why our economy's not growing. That's why our economy's not growing. What's growing is our inflation. And that's why you see the Fed rate, go take a look at it. The Fed rate today is still at 5.3%. And even the 10-year Treasury would drop below 4% to 3.99. Now it's back above 4%. Every time they're trying to push that 10-year Treasury yield down, they can't do it. They can't do it because there's still too much inflation. We'll talk about their 2% target when we get back. Join my gang, free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grande.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth. You get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing is to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works. Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. So, tonight, if you have a chance, go to a YouTube channel or Instagram at Rumble, Apple, and the chart, I'll have that up for you tonight with the interest rates, and you can see what I've been saying is so true that it makes no sense. You can't take an interest rate at 5% and the market drops from July to October 10%, and then turn around in that same 5%, the market rallies 15% from October to January 2024. It makes no common sense. It doesn't work that way. And the other thing, too, is if you do join our gang within that 10 days, you're going to learn what stocks should you be in if interest rates, let's say they decide to go crazy and they're going to keep on just raising rates. They're going to keep on QE. They're going to print more and more money, create tremendous more inflation, and they're going to try to drop interest rates back down to near zero. as they did in 2008. Remember, 2008 to 2022, the market went up 590%, the S&P, because it never got above 1% interest except for 19 months out of the total 14 years. Do you think that market was rigged? So if they're going to try to rig it again, do that over again, try to run the market up another 500%, can you imagine the inflation? It just doesn't make sense. But if they do, then you've got to be in the right stocks. And that's what we teach you. I mean, one thing is that if you see rates going up, make sure you're in brokerage stocks, make sure you're in insurance stocks, make sure you're in bank stocks. If you got rates starting to come back down, then make sure that you're looking at consumer discretionary stocks. They're like Nike or utilities or information technology. I'm sorry, just the opposite of what I told you. So again, you just want to know, okay, if I'm going to be trading a stock, I need to know what stocks do well at high rates. It's not hard. So just stay with banks and insurance. What stocks do well with low rates? Then you stay with your utilities. And I mean, these are the things, once you know these, and then all you got to do is figure, okay, now that I know which stocks do well with high rates, the banks, which stocks do lousy with high rates, tech, then I'm going to know, all I got to know is which way the rate is going to go. Pretty simple, isn't it? And the bond market would tell you that. If your TLT is going down, that's your 20-year treasury, rates are going up. So if rates are going up, I start buying bank stocks, brokerage stocks, insurance stocks. Not hard, is it? It's not. And this is what we'll teach you. So again, the problem that we're having right now is they are trying to keep this election going. And it's going to be a tough battle. They don't want this market to crash during the election. So will they force the market up? Again, going back like they did in 2008 to drop rates from the Fed rate from 5.3% down to less than 1%, near zero. That's what they did in 2008. They could do that. So make sure you're just in the right stocks and you'll make money. And the stocks that are going to go down because of it, you short. And that's why 85% of people don't make money in the market, because they don't know how to short. In 10 days, it's free. We'll show you how to short. So the whole key is to understand it's the direction of the interest rates that create the direction of the stock in the market. Once you've identified the direction of the interest rate, which is easy to do, then you know which stock group to be in. The ones that favor high rates, the ones that favor low rates. Pretty simple. But now they have no choice. They got to keep interest rates high. They can't cut them. Because as I said, you got too much money that's sitting in the money of the M2, that is money supply, and it's just overwhelming production. Productivity is horrible. So we got inflation there. The other thing too, you hear about this 2% target. That's a bunch of BS. Why do you think they latched onto this inflation target of 2%? Who did that? That was Bernanke, and that was Obama. Because that 2% target benefits Wall Street. Remember, Wall Street controls the Federal Reserve. Wall Street, remember, controls the Federal Reserve. Wall Street decides if interest rates are going to go down or interest rates are going to go up. And having that target at 2% gives them an out anytime they need to, we better lower rates because rates are right now at 3.3%. We got to get that target down to 2%. We better print money, buy some treasuries, get that yield down. And that's how the market keeps going up. But the problem is it's a bubble. Just like it was a bubble in 2008. A bubble in 2009. 2010 rather, the housing bubble. First we had the dot-com bubble, then we had the housing bubble. They did the same thing. So this inflation target at 2%, it kills Main Street It kills you, the saver. And then it crushes your savings. It crushes your job. You go from full-time to part-time to no job. This target of 2% is a disaster. It destroys the working class. It causes economic growth to drop in half of our historic average. Think about that. Our economic growth is half of the historic average. This 2% is a joke. This 2% is a con job. It's to give Wall Street an excuse. It gives the Fed an excuse to drop rates for Wall Street. And that's why you had a 590% rally from 2009 to 2020. You'll never see that again. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're deciding to do that again now in January 2024. Maybe they said, hey, you know what? Let's do it again. Let's go another 590%. What do we care if it's inflation? We're wealthy. We want inflation. Forget Main Street. Who cares about them? They could do that. They could do that. So the truth behind that 2% target, remember, that was an Australian. He was who came up with the 2%. He was known to be a drunkard. He was a financial reporter. And one night he was drunk, and someone asked him about what do you think the rates would be. He said, well, the target rate's 2%. He just made it up out of his head. And Bernanke caught on to that and said, wow, if I can use this 2% as a target, do you realize we can punch this stock market up anytime Wall Street wants us to? I can say, oh, interest rates are at 4%. We got to get down to 2. Let's print money, buy some more treasuries. Well, what's the rate now? 2.7. Oh, let's print some more money, buy treasuries, rock the market back up. That's what they've been doing. And that's why you're the bottom line, that's why you see cars from 2008. Autos are up 126% since 2008. But your wages are up 12% since 2008. That's the real number, 12%. Your college education up 145% from 2008. Homes up 151% since 2008. Deficits, our government deficits, spending more money they take in, up 340%. How'd they get there? With this fake 2% inflation target. Because they got an excuse now to run the market. Oh, 2%. Oh, we got to get back to 2%. It's just stupid. Stupid. What's not stupid is take advantage for 10 days. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Click on where it says Get Started. And for 10 days, you'll get an education you can't get at Harvard. I used the wrong name, Harvard. but you will get an education. All you need, if you don't do anything with those 10 days, you leave after 10 days, you'll never have to ask anybody again, what do you think the market's going to do, or what do you think the stock's going to do? You're going to know that. After 10 days, you're going to know that. And one other thing you're going to know. How do you know when to short a stock, or how to short a stock? And then you're also going to know if rates are going to go up. Then you know, okay, then I better be in those sectors. If rates are going up or rates going down, I better be in those sectors that favor rates going down. Rates going up, you want to be in banks, insurance, or brokerage. Rates going down, you want to be in utilities. See you in the chart.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to